Okay, we are back with part 3 of the Morpho Anatomy for Artists Simplified Forms book. We last left off on page 23, so we're on page 24 now, and we're gonna draw these guys, and we'll get into it. It says the lower jaw is connected underneath the skull halfway across the profile. So here, that's what we're dealing with. Hey, I'm recording. Alright. So, hopefully you guys have been digging this so far. This little series that we've got going on. Yeah. Another thing that you can kind of do is zygo. This is a zygomatic bone. I feel bad. I just started recording, and of course, my girlfriend wakes up, and she's like, "Derick, hello." She wakes up like a victim in a horror movie, where she just is like, "Hello? Is anyone there?" I'm like, "Yes, dude. I'm right here." Holy crap. It sounds like she's about to get, like, the killer's about to come from around the corner and slice her throat. She also does it when she comes home. She goes, "Hello? Is anyone there?" Like, yes, dude, it's me. The guy that never leaves the house. I'm right here, I promise you. So that might have sounded a little bit mean for me to be like, "Hey, I'm recording," but it's just I did not want to pick up on the mic that she was about to go, "Hello," because then people are gonna be like, "Does he have a woman kidnapped? Is there a victim like hanging out in this guy's like house? What the hell is going on?" So now, maybe I can get her on. Maybe she'll come on. Get a little Loomis method going on here. Hey, do you want to come on and tell people that you are not dying? Yeah. I am going to Philadelphia today. Gotta get the hell out of the city and go to another city. So not exactly a break from city living, but close. Remember that cheekbone comes all the way down to this line. So on this line you have cheekbone, you got the bottom of the nose. You got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is like on this line. So good thing to just kind of like note and remember. But if you draw enough of these, like kind of like this is like a diet Loomis head, I feel like. Also, this distance here, I mean, you kind of learn this from the Loomis stuff, but you can make it the same distance. Right. This is like the hardest thing to kind of remember, is that it's not like when you're drawing this neck, it's not just this. There's like a bit of fat and a bit of shadow like underneath where your like your jawbone is basically. So you don't have. I mean, it depends on your style and like what you're kind of going for. Like I'm going for a a cartoony style that has like it's like 50% cartooning, 50% realism to my style. But this is a perfect example, like right here, right? I was gonna do that before I leave. Like, do you see how there's like this little bit of space right here? It's not just, I'll just draw a small one real quick. It's not just this, you know what I mean? I mean, you can do that, but you are kind of missing a nice little opportunity to get a little bit of a little tiny bit of shading in there. But let's get in this 3/4 views. These things are tough. So with 3/4 view, I often end up making my my circle just needs to be smaller, or I just need to draw in my details a lot smaller in the space that like I've given myself. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? I'm like kind of mad because like well, I'm not mad. I'm cool, but I had already recorded myself. I feel like I'm kind of like cheating a little bit. I'm not cheating, but I've already drawn this stuff. But I went back and looked at the footage, and I had like the gate up on my microphone was like way too high, so it sounded like the microphone was like cutting in and out really weird. Just sounded horrible. So it's like, the whole point of this video is to be able to easily follow along with it. And if the audio keeps sounding like it's like popping like in and out, it's like I don't think people are gonna really want to like hang, And that's the other thing too with this video series is like this is a hang, You wouldn't want to hang out with someone that's like, it sounds like this is, that's like what the audio is doing. So it's just like, God dang it. So I lost like 2 days basically. I had to like basically just kind of come in and re-record. So that's what this is, but I'm kind of like flying through this now. Which again, right, it's like, it kind of shows you like the more you kind of like repetition in drawing is so important, man. Like the more you can kind of like review these things and use what you've learned, the kind of easier it gets. I think that is you. Okay, so let me try to really nail this. There we go, perfect. So we got that. And again too, like know why you're studying. You'll probably hear me repeat this a lot. And I'm mostly repeating it to myself as kind of like a mantra, because let's be honest here, like studying can be very boring, right? Which is like also kind of like the reason why it's like I'm recording it, just to kind of like, it feels like I'm like holding myself accountable, but I'm
practicing just to kind of level up the realism part of my drawings, right? I feel like I've lost a little bit of that. Kind of gone a little too cartoony. Not even so much like too cartoony. But okay, we're on page 25 now. You know what, we'll even do this. 24. I just was struggling with like really simple poses. And I was like, oh my god, I need to like get back into the... I gotta study this stuff again. Alright, so here's some writing. The ear should be drawn behind this mid-distance. So like right here. On a live model, the jaw joint is roughly aligned with the earlobe, the nose, and the depression underneath the cheekbones. Cool. Alright, so let's get it in. But yeah, that's the whole reason why I'm studying again. And, you know, I know like there's like the saying, there's like two sides of this coin where it's like studying too much, like you're never making stuff. Like you get better the more you just make stuff. And that's true, but you can also plateau. And I feel like I've like kind of plateaued a little bit. Yeah, just personally, just me personally, I feel like I mostly, I think I talked about this a little bit in video 1, but a while back I kind of switched my study sessions to just be like, just study the artists that you like. It's just way funner. There's this Hunter S. Thompson quote that I love so much where he was like, sometimes if he was like in a rut, he would rewrite, I think from like J.D. Salinger. Like he would just rewrite passages of, I think it was like The Great Gatsby or something like that. And he was like, I do that just to know what it feels like to write like a good story. Or like a good, like what, I want to feel what good writing feels like. So I feel like that's kind of like how we feel when we're like, you know, maybe drawing from other artists. Like you're like, wow, this is like what it must feel like to make a perfect drawing, or like what we perceive as like a perfect drawing. Or, you know, when you photo reference a lot, right? Like you're like, oh, this is like a really good picture. So I just want to draw this really good picture of this woman doing, you know, sitting on a stoop or something, right? And it's good to do that for sure, but it's a habit, you know what I mean? Like you're building a habit that can be detrimental to your time, you know? If you're only like, then you're kind of basically like training yourself to always, like if it's draw time, then you're like, well, wait a second, I need photos, you know? Or if it's like, if you're like constantly drawing from other artists, then you're kind of like, wait a second, like let me get the comics out that I really like, you know? And you do have to kind of build that muscle of like, okay, I just have to make what I'm gonna make, you know? But that's, I feel like, I don't know, I don't think I'm alone in that. I think maybe a lot of other people kind of maybe go through that too. I mean, it's, I think it's a big part of being a comic book artist and an illustrator is like, you know, you learn from the greats, like you know what I mean? Like our field is like, It's like there's a reason why like they make you do master studies, you know? Like, you know, they're like, go draw fruit. Go do a master study of, you know, sergeant. Because it's like, well, that's how, you know, they learn from studying masters, like you got to learn the same way. But eventually, you know, you can kind of break out of that and form your own voice, hopefully. And I think your voice maybe just comes from like a combination of all the people that you've studied and, you know, your mistakes, basically. That's what I read that somewhere else too. Like somebody was like, style isn't about like how cool you draw stuff. It's like what you're bad at maybe, or like what you don't draw is kind of like your style. Something like that. I don't know. I'll remember it as soon as I turn off this microphone. But yeah. So don't ever feel bad. A lot of people feel bad about like copying their favorite artists or whatever. And you might meet an art teacher or somebody that tells you not to do that. Don't listen to them. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Because it's like, if it's fun and it's keeping you drawing, that's kind of like the biggest thing, like the biggest hurdle. Especially when you're starting out drawing, just keep it as fun as possible so that you're doing it every day and it doesn't feel like a chore. So if you like to warm up every day by drawing some, you know, something from like your favorite comic, yeah, do it. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, 2 more heads. Yeah, baby, we're blasting today. We're blasting because I also gotta get the hell out of here. I'm excited. I love a good train. I love a train ride. Oh, you know what? I gotta. Hey, babe, if you see my headphones, can you plug them in to one of the chargers? Oh, wait, I got it. Never mind.
What?
Never mind. Definitely got to make sure the headies are charged. I think I might become a street artist again, but all of my pieces would be like, hey, maybe take that conversation outside. Don't forget, like, you're on a subway, everybody can hear you. Like, maybe don't be talking to your niece on speakerphone right now on a crowded bus. Hey, that's cool that you like Drake. I like Drake too. But I don't really feel like listening to Drake right now on a giant Bluetooth speaker. In the middle of a park. I don't think I want to hear Pop That Pussy this loud right now. I'm trying to think about other stuff. Just like a lot of signs. It would just be a lot of typography. Like, hey, don't be a dick. There are like on the subway here, we do have some cool sick signs like that, but they're all printed like tiny. You know? So it's like, and then, you know, illiteracy is pretty high right now in the country, so it's like, motherfuckers, you know, half these people can't read this shit. It's insane. I was at a coffee shop yesterday, and these, like, I don't think they were teens. I think they were like college age kids. Like, were on speakerphone, like in the middle of a cafe, and it took like everything inside of me to not go over there and be like, dude, what are you, like, go outside. Alright. Then I'm just like, what am I, fucking Karen now? It's just so annoying. It's just like, have some class and act like you've been there before. Now we are on page 26. Let's go ahead and read this real quick. We're talking about the line of the brow bones makes it possible to define the orbital frames around the eye. So we're going to be doing that. All right, so we're going to start with page 26. How much battery do I have? Battery. Okay. Get some more Loomis head practice in here. I think it's kind of important to kind of get this, like this stuff, when you throw detail in here, man, it's like, oh, I usually end up just making this like way bigger because I'm like, I can't fit an eye there and an eye there, and then yeah, it's oof. So there's times where I'm like, do I need to just be drawing like Loomis construction heads again? Like, oh, I could think of a lot of things I'd rather go do than go through another Loomis book. I don't think I've ever finished one. No. Well, that's the other reason why I'm also recording this, because it's like, it's very easy to be getting yourself a how to draw a book, and like you're like, yeah, I'm gonna blast through this book. I'm gonna do the whole book. And then you get to like page 15, you're like, I feel like I got it. And then you've just spent like $30 on this book that you're like, yeah, I think I got it. I got it from here. I'll just take a day off. I don't need to study this thing every day. And then you never look at it again. So I'm just like, we're gonna fix that. I'm trying to think if I've ever finished how to draw a book. I've gotten close. I think I did Framed Ink. I think I finished that whole book. That book's pretty cool because you can just like, maybe we'll revisit that book because I have Framed Ink Perspective. I have like a PDF of it. And I finally kind of figured out how to, like the best way to kind of work through that book is to be like, you look at the example of like the shot that they're talking about, and then you just go make one. Like, just go make something. Because when I first worked through that book, I was just like, I guess I'll just redraw, I guess I'll just redraw all of these shots. And I kind of did that for a little bit, but then it kind of dawned on me, like I started sketching just shots, and I was like, oh wait, I should just like have that book out and then just do just like a quick sketch drawing of, like the concept that they're talking about, like where they're like, So once I started doing that, I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, this is cool. Like, I'm actually getting some. I'm not just redrawing drawings. Because, man, that can get... Like, luckily, this book's only 100 pages long. But there's some books out there that are pretty extensive, and there's a lot of writing. Framed Ink is one of those books, unfortunately, that has, like, a ton of writing. I think, like, way too much technical writing in that book. Like, what I mean? It's like, you gotta think about your audience, man. It's like, it's a bunch of artists. Like, artists are reading this. Like, they want to get good fast. We don't really want to sit there and be reading a bunch of texts about the things. Like, show us how to do the thing. Show us how to do the thing. And then tell us how to, actually get something out of the thing. and then move on to the next thing. Anyway. These 3/4 views, man. So it's like in 3/4 view, it's like the cheekbones drop down. Because in regular view, like the bottom of the circle that you do, the bottom of that circle is supposed to be where the cheekbones are. But when you turn or you like look down, then the cheekbones, everything like just moves down. So try to remember that. Same thing with this, like, you know, the bottom of the cheek line, that's usually where the nose is like on top of that. But since now we're looking down, all of that stuff is shifted. Okay, and then got that and that. Cool. I gotta plug in my computer. So now we're gonna kind of get a little bit more of a technical drawing in here. And this is a good thing to remember, that like how the skull actually kind of is, right? Where it's like flat, flat. Bye, I love you too. Yep. Sunday, like midday. Alright, you too. Yeah, clean out a litter and do her ears tonight, please. You gotta...
You guys switching the shower curtain?
Yes.
Not, I can do it. I thought I liked the religion. Do I look ridiculous?
What are you going to work?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see some patients. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going down to meet Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So I just kind of want to emphasize this real quick. Okay. Let's get over here. Page 27 now. Actually might have to get a new webcam because this one's always kind of tough to work with. I have like a really wide space, but maybe I should just draw wider. I don't know. Instead of just drawing in a book. So we're gonna draw this drawing here. And I'm just gonna still set it up. Boom. Right. Because it's like, I don't want to just, again, like it's really easy to just start just drawing what you see. And you still want to keep proportions and things in mind, right? So we still have, you know, that lip's going to be about right here. Right? Then we got that bottom lip. So just try to think of it, you know, this time is for practice, so don't get lazy. Right? Okay. Excuse me. I hope you guys didn't hear that little mini burp I just did. Oof, right at the edge here for this guy. But see, like little things like this, like I want to kind of add in some more realism to my drawings a little bit more. Like where all these bumps are, right? Cool. The cheekbone. All right, it's like that. Or, you know, there's all types of variations you can do for that cheekbone line, man. That thing can, I feel like it's deceptively hard. Man, I was supposed to run today, too. I don't think it's gonna happen. Oof. Did you turn off the AC in there?
Oh, yeah. Bye, sweetheart.
I love you too. Have fun. Oh. Cool. Let's get a couple more of these. I'm kind of relaxing a little bit on like let's try this. Sorry, guys. Bye, I love you too. Love you. This is how we leave. We say I love you 50 times. I'll do just one more. I mean, my rule was kind of like, you know, draw every drawing that's on this page. I'm gonna relax that rule just because I'm like, I was hoping, because I got this book sectioned off into 4 sections, and I was hoping like each section would just be like an hour, but it's very quickly kind of turned into like each section's almost, you know, it's like 3 hours. 3 hours each, and I'm like, yeah, jeez. It's kind of a burden. But there's a part of me that's also just like, you know what? Like, things take time. Right? Like, I kind of don't really want to, like, just, like, kind of blast through. Oh my god. Frizzle? Oh, shit. Yeah, we're still recording. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go. Tight. Sorry, guys. My computer died. And I'm just going to have to edit this out. But yeah, my computer died. And I was like literally about to just be defeated. Oh my god. Okay, so we're still recording. Thank God. Guys, I was about to give up. I was about to be like, alright, well this is like the fourth weirdest thing that happened while I'm like recording. So maybe I'm just not supposed to be recording right now. Maybe that's what's going on. Okay. I'll do just one more, this little guy right here, but like I said, I think we're gonna kind of switch it from, let's draw a couple from each page so that this series isn't, 40 hours long, but it might be 40 hours long. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like people need to know that, studying and getting better, like, takes time. It's not like this, like, okay, spend a weekend doing this, and this, and by the end of it, like, you're gonna be amazing. It's not like the hyperbolic time chamber, Like, this stuff takes forever. It takes a really long time to get good at anything. So, I don't know. But there's also, it's like, alright, dude, I've drawn the head 50 fucking times. Like, I'm like, alright, enough. I got it. I feel like I'm like losing it a little bit. But honestly though, dude, like so this is literally like the third time this is the second time I've drawn through this section of this book. And I had to draw, I was just sketching some heads yesterday, and I was like, oh wow, actually, like remembering a lot of the stuff that I studied. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Maybe I should make myself draw everything 50 times. But yeah, I don't know. If you're drawing along with me and you're like kind of getting bored, just take a break, or just know that like, yeah, it's a little dry sometimes, Studying is dry. Can be dry. Okay. So there's this thing called a mask that connects the cheekbones and the orbital frames. So this little guy right here turns into that. And then you've got a demarcation of the face. So this is when you like section off the face, basically. So let's get a couple of those on. And I'll keep this on so you guys can. Lovely. Okay. We'll start up here. section this stuff off. Man, I'm so happy I don't have to start over. I was seriously gonna be like, all right, I think I might have to cancel the series. Because like I said, like, you know, I'd already recorded about 2 hours of footage that ended up being not usable. So this is like the second round of that. And I was just like, all right, man, maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe people don't need this knowledge at all, actually. Cool. But I actually kind of did this yesterday too with I'm drawing Apocalypse right now. He's like a Marvel character. And he has the ability to sorry, let me concentrate for a second. Anyway, he has the ability to make like anything, make his arms turn into anything for some odd reason. So he can like make guns out of his arms. He can make like a drill. I think he's kind of most notable for the drill. That seems to be the thing that pops up. Which like, I don't even remember that being a thing as a kid. I was like, I don't remember Apocalypse having a drill arm. But I had an Apocalypse toy. Because Apocalypse is cool as hell. It's a great name. There's some great things in the 90s, man. You guys missed out. Toys. I remember just having buckets and like just an entire basement full of toys. And then somehow still being like, I'm bored. I mean, we just had, I don't know, man. Just Toy Central, man. Toys freaking rule. I still love toys. I still walk down the toy aisle every now and then, just go, let me see what they got going on over there. And that's what's messed up about it too. It's like the toy industry knows it's mostly just dudes my age. Because kids don't care. Kids are like, I don't want to use my imagination. I want to play on my iPad. Like, dude, the iPad stinks. iPad sucks, dude. I mean, I get it, like, but, you know, I don't know, we're talking about starting a brood soon. And I just, like, I feel like it's impossible to have straight edge kids. Like, you just have to give your kids, like, an iPad. You know? But, I don't know. My girlfriend's cousin has a really cool relationship with like her kid. Like they're husband and wife, and they like raise their kid. Like he plays with like a lot of toys. So I love going over there because I'm just like, dude, you got like Toy Central, and you'll hear him up there like playing with toys. I was like, great. Like I don't see him like, you know, sitting there staring at like an iPad. So I think it's also just like how you raise your kids. So I'm hoping that I don't really want kids. Like if I have to think about it, I'm kind of just like, I kind of wish I really don't want them. Just because I'm just like, oh my God, it seems like such a burden. But I think it's, again, man, it's just like, they can be a burden if you raise them to be a burden. If you raise them to be cool, then maybe they'll be cool, you know? I think you just gotta commit, maybe. I don't know. Also, I mean, we don't have to talk about this stuff, but it's just like the thinking of a 37-year-old man He's just like, I think I might be having a kid soon, so. And I obviously don't have to, but there's something that is said about people that are like my age and don't have kids. They're kind of weird. Like I feel like you just kind of become an adult child. You know? Like you're just like this adult child. Like I hang out with a lot of adult children that just like, they talk and act like kids, and you're like, dude, like you're an adult, man. Act like an adult a little bit. I know we're cartoonists, but damn. Okay. Alright, so my favorite thing to do. The two sternocleidomastoid muscles that rotate and tilt the head. Number 1, right here. Start at the skull, boom, and under the ear, so back here, and connect to the sternum at the axis of the rib cage, so like down here. So let's get a couple of those in. I ran out of, I've been blasting through sketchbooks, so I ran out of. The first video takes place in a sketchbook, and I went to go record video 3, and I was like, oh damn, I'm like already done with this sketchbook. That was quick. The only thing that sucks about my sketchbooks is like they're not. I don't really like sketch. You know, they're mostly just like studies. So I can't even really like do like a walkthrough. I feel like it'd just be like, oh, here's some Jerome K. Jerome Bluch studies, and here's some Daniel Warren Johnson studies, and here's me figuring. It's a lot of like that, and then it's like a lot of me figuring out compositions that I have to go use. So I'm using a sketchbook, like, you know, how it's supposed to be used. I'm not, but you'll see these videos on YouTube of people, and like they'll show off their sketchbooks, and you're like, jeez. I'm like, wow, you know, you make like, there's people that just make these beautiful sketchbooks, and then I'm like, oh yeah, they're not comic book artists, they're artists, you know, like this is like a part of their art form, is to just have this beautiful sketchbook. I kind of forgot that, like, yeah, there are people that are just sketchers, you know, and nothing wrong with that, obviously. And I am totally biffing my rule here. No, actually, okay, I'm actually kind of testing myself. But yeah, no, my sketchbooks are very, like, I use them basically to figure things out. And then they're not pretty, they're not cool looking. And sometimes I'll be drawing in public and people will be like, oh my God, can I look at your sketchbook? I'm like, no. And they'll get weird, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry. It's not, there's nothing good in there. Like, I'm not trying to be like Mr. Cool Guy or anything. It's just like, there's nothing good in there. Like, you're gonna flip through it and get through about 2 pages of like stuff like this and be like, oh, okay. Like, I don't draw in my sketchbook, you know? Okay. Yeah, and I feel like we're good here. I feel like we don't need to. Yeah, let's keep it moving, because there's a lot in this head section, and I kind of wanted to knock out each section in each video. So we've got the outline of the cheekbone, the zygomatic arch, which is that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing. It stretches backwards toward the ear and the jaw joint. Okay, so let's get some of that going. This is also when it gets kind of hard, because we're like, oh my God, I gotta figure this out. I have a meeting with my with a videographer buddy of mine. He's gonna hopefully be able to help me out with some of this stuff. So is there a better way to set up? I guess too is like, I mean, this would be very involved, but I could like scan in. I guess I could buy like a PDF version, right? Okay, so hold up, sorry, let me like think. Okay, so the zygomatic bone, it's like right there. It's like a little bit above the nose line. And then it curves, it like combines into the cheekbone. So I'm just gonna write connects to cheek bone. I actually might switch to a different pencil because this pencil's actually kind of starting to hurt my wrist for some odd reason. I don't know why, but I've been drawing with mostly mechanical pencils, and I feel like that's definitely helped my wrist issues. But today I decided to pick up an old Blackwing that kind of regretting it. It's like my hand's definitely feeling tired, or maybe I'm just drawing really fast. I should probably slow down. Maybe that's what's going on. I might be just kind of blasting through drawings here. Oh yeah, okay. We'll do this guy. Okay, so this oval. Again, man, like, get that practice in. So a little bit, you see how it's like a little bit above this line here that represents, you know, this is the nose. And then but this thing right here, this to this is so cool. Like I can't wait to be like throwing that in. I love that. Okay, yeah. And then I guess you could say, I mean, it's literally just how you kind of make the skull. Like I have a skull that we can take a look at. Right. Let me switch pencils. Sorry, my hand is really hurting. Oh boy. But skull time. That's the zygomatic arch. Right here. So that's all we're drawing. If you want to know where I got that skull, we're gonna do this big guy right here. For some reason, this even like feels better like already, just holding. All right, so drawing people look up is difficult, but you just gotta do your construction, man. Alright. Oh shit, I'm so sorry, guys. There we go. So just construct it out, like, you know, like I like to just kind of construct things out before. Oh my god, this is so much better. I should have been drawing with this. The thing I like about mechanical pencils is that they really force you to be lighter. Right? Like they really and if you get really good lead, like I have I use 4B lead. It's really light, so you can always erase it. You can always erase it, which is really nice. So I'm just gonna kind of come through here and I'm just making a bunch of lines. Just kind of making a bunch of lines. But you totally don't have to do that. And then I guess too, right? Like look at this, look how this connects. Jesus Christ. All right, there's gotta be a better way to do this. There we go. Okay. As you can see here, this really kind of connects back. Yeah, I should have, I don't know. I'm probably never going to use a black wing again, unfortunately. It's kind of a bummer, but my hand just feels like so much better already, just switching back to a mechanical pencil. But the mechanical pencil, because the lead is so fragile, especially with like the 4B, I don't think I left enough room down here to be able to fit in everything that's here. But maybe, guys, we'll see. Cheekbone, go up and across. Got that other cheekbone over here. Cool. So let's start it up. If you notice, things really like peak around that middle line. So just make sure that arches. And then, you know, just kind of like how we've been doing with that brow. There's that space between there. The space between. Who sings that? Yeah, this is a little bit off, but again, I'm kind of in a rush, so it's okay. And if you're in a rush, it's okay too, right? Like it's practice, man. It's practice. Like I don't know. Again, like, you know, this is we're trying to improve, but it's also just like, you know, it's supposed to be fun. Like it's okay if it's a tiny bit off, right? Like this chin line should be kind of like down here. And hopefully, I mean, I'm not teaching you, I don't really care what I'm teaching you. I don't think I'm teaching you bad habits, but just, you know, like, if you think it sucks, just go back and redraw it. I personally don't have that time to do that today. But actually, holy shit, that actually came out. Yeah, this is a little squashed. Mine's like a little bit squashed. So that's one thing I definitely want to improve on by the end of all this is like less squashed forms, please. Cool. Okay. Where we at? Hour? Okay. Let's get a couple of these back views in. No notes for the back side of the head, which is crazy to me because the back side of the head is quite the challenge. I'm gonna start with this guy. Yeah, drawing like the back view of someone's head is very, very challenging. I'm really surprised there's not like a paragraph down here. It's very easy to get wrong. Not really sure why I'm so burpy today. Okay, so this is a weird one. Like look at, like I guess this head is technically looking up. So if we were to do the construction, right? Let's do the construction for this. The head would be looking up like that, right? I know this, I'm drawing through, so it doesn't really look like that. But then, so because this head's tilted up, everything now is going to be tilting, right? All right, so we got our construction line. So we can kind of clean this up like a little bit, just so it's not too messy. So let's get that ear in. The ear's like, looks like this guy made this line just to kind of know where the top of the ear is. And then we also know where the bottom. I think from now on, like the rule with that I'm gonna do is just like, oh crap, sorry, hold on, let me move this back. So the ear also connects to the neckline. So like wherever you made your neckline, try to make your try to make your ear connect to that line. Perfect. Right, like see, ears are connected to your neck, basically. And then I guess we could even drop this one down just a little bit more. But yeah, so I think their new rule is just gonna be like easy one, hard one, medium, maybe like 3 drawings per page. I don't know. And let's get this big guy in here, because that seems like it's pretty complicated and I don't want to miss that. And then I think that might be the end of the video, or maybe not. I still have some time. Actually, shit, I actually need to leave soon, very soon. Gotta get to the train station, baby. I'm gonna probably eat lunch at the train station. I really can't wait till we get to the torso part of this, because the torso is just like the bane of my existence. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit more so you guys can see the full thing. But yeah, when I'm drawing, like, I mean, look, see how I just kind of mapped everything out pretty quickly with like some light construction. Try to do that. Also, map like roughly where the top of your drawing is going to be and the bottom of your drawing is going to be, so you're so you're not starting at the top of your drawing and then working your way down and realizing like whatever you're drawing is going to get cut off. Now this one I'm kind of trying to make it look pretty close to like how this person is tackling these forms. You know, we've got that. This is your clavicle bone. Man, we're really zooming today. Why I'm doing that? Just because I'm so unfamiliar with the back. I very rarely draw back muscles. So if I don't know it, I'm gonna really try to just trust this person's judgment and kind of get it drawn in pretty close to how they did it. You guys can't hear, but I'm playing like some like weird, I'm playing the Backrooms playlist that's on Spotify. So we got that line. So now, so weird. I don't know why he didn't just do it like this, but I guess that would be the head would be looking down, so it's looking up, but it's just such a weird line. Okay. So you got bump, cheekbone, a lot of bumps where you're doing this like kind of like 3/4 view. And then this kind of goes up. Weird. Cool. Let's check. Ours is a little bit too much. Out this way. So, you know, look at your mistakes sometimes. Like, you know, I know last time I didn't really, I guess I kind of fixed that mistake. Fix the mistakes if you see them. You know, that was a pretty big one. And then this ear's like really up high. Yeah, okay. All right. Bump to bump. Cool. Okay, so now we're going to do where the ears are placed real quick. So the ears are placed between two arcs and aligned with the bottom of the nose. Helps to express the head's tilting movements. So we got a bunch of examples of that. So let's start We'll start with this gun. Very difficult. So this one you're drawing like almost like an egg within an egg. Within another egg? Jesus Christ. That's hilarious. Okay. Like that top of that head there. And then we're just going to draw that construction like right on top of it. So this is brow line, and then below that we're going to have the eyes. The nose now is going to pop below that nose and cheekbone line. Cheeks are going to kind of go up like so. Then I need more room. Oh, this angle's so freaking tough to do. Okay. Got a little bit of that lip there. All right. Do that. And then you got a bunch of head back here. Everyone get your mind out the gutter. I thought about chuckling too. But yeah. So basically that. And then I've got to go. Yeah. But good sesh. Well, let's finish this. We'll finish page 32. So next thing, we'll just do a tiny version of this guy looking up. Like that, and then let's get in those construction lines for everything. Remember, we got the nose is at the bottom. Right there. Got the lips. Right there. And now for this dreaded underchin. Tight. Okay, cool. So we will leave off on page 33, and we'll pick it up. Later, Gators.